Well, this one's about the side cabinets and the battery box holder, which I've actually had to do some mods to since. And if you can see in the background there, I got the shovel holder, I've got my enclosure on here, and it's kind of dark, but I have 270-degree awning there as well. Anyway, enjoy this one. It's about the build of the cabinets and the battery boxes. My continuing build of the Land Rover Defender for this year's trip. Enjoy. Well, here's the shelf, starting it here, and I've got it mounted. There were some really nice mounting points back here, so I mounted it. I just have these jacks kind of supporting it. It'll support itself here. This is my water, one of my water containers when I'm living out of this, and I'll be able to bring it over here to the tailgate table. But yeah, that's this stage of it. Comes out, and I just angled it off so if you get it in, you won't catch on a corner. But I'm going to put dividers here and little cabinets. And I was thinking too, I could build up here and put some small cabinet storage spaces up top and come down too. I don't know if I'm going to need that. If I need that, I'll do that, because that would look really neat. That would be, you know, and keep it out so this is accessible. The blinds are accessible, and these blinds fold down really nice. They're just right, everything fits perfect. So that's the beginning of this. So I'll be back when I get a little more going on this. This is just a fit up, and I gotta sand it and shellac it like I did everything else. Anyway, out for now. Well, here's the cabinet, just roughly put in. I got weight on there to just to bring it down so the holes would line. I've got it's bolted right to the body of the Defender. And you know, there's the fridge, and of course this, and there's tools all over the place because I'm working on this. But I'm fitting everything up. Like, this is my water tank. It's going to be here. You know that, and there's my cook stove and my pots and pans. I'm kind of building everything to fit. You know, I'm not just kind of building it and then hoping everything's going to fit. I'm trying to make it kind of fit as I'm building it. Yeah, so that's the state so far. This is rough right now. See, I had to contour that all in there, and I'm just going to make the doors now. You know, just pretend this is the size of this, and the door is going to hinge. It's going to hinge up, and it'll be clasped into place with these clasps here. It'll be like that on the door, and these are for RVs, so they're made to be shook around there. You have to really pull on them to get them to come apart. So there's some stuff that needs to be done. I just thought I'd stop in and show you what's going on with this. And I want to have this table here because then if it rains, you know, I can get up here and sit down, you know, and make a meal in here. And these doors, these windows here, they slide open, right? They slide open, so you can open the window up. And yeah, so that's what's going on. When I get the drawers built, I'll show it to you, and then I'm going to pull it all apart. Like, I mean, undo these you know, these screws in here, take it off, and then I'm gonna finish sanding up, you know, take some edges off here and clean it up, and then clear coat like I did this here, and make it look nice like this one. And yeah, so yeah, the tailgate table, yeah, it's all, there's a butane stove that I take with me, and all the stuff that I take that I've lived out of in the Jeep, of course, is coming with me in the Land Rover. And so, and I'm kind of setting everything up because I really like the way it worked out in the Jeep, you know, cooking in the back. But now I've got a little more option. I can live inside a little bit when it's raining. So yeah, and there's the two doors just resting. I want to put the roof rack back on that some year coming up, and head back to the Trans-Taiga in northern Quebec and get on that beautiful Trans-Taiga. It's the farthest you can get from a town in North America on a track. You're 750 kilometers away from the nearest town, and it's an out and back. So it's like 1,500 kilometers. You got to bring spare cans. That's why I've got the spare cans of fuel on the side. There is one spot at the end of the track. There's a fly-in fishing place, and you can get gas. But anyway, that's kind of getting off topic. That's a two-door, and the four-door, of course, is out there. And yeah, so I got them all. I got my little projects and my little pets, right? I just keep them all up going, and they've all been reliable as all get out on the tracks. Like, just, I can just count on them to get me in and out of anywhere. Of course, I keep them up mechanically. Having been a mechanic, you know, I know you need to change the oil and filter very regularly, and all the fluids. Just keep them good, keep them changed, you know, and they'll last. And I happen to have two of the good years for the JK. 15 is one of the best years, and 19 for the JL is also a good year, and it's proven to be that way. I've had zero problems with any of them. But anyway, there's the Landy, and yeah, it's coming. I put a new belt tensioner on it for the accessory drive belt, because this one, I'm going to punch the bearing out of this one and put a new bearing in, and then I'll have a spare. And this pump, I replaced the pump on it because it was leaking here, but I got the O-ring to replace that O-ring, so I'll have a spare good pump too. I mean, it's, you know, not stuff I'm going to take with me on a trip, but it's just stuff I'll have on my shelf if something goes. I've got a pump, or I've got a tensioner that I can. The tensioner, I don't think I'll bring that because they don't tend to go. But anyway, so that's the state of what's going on. A little bit of a rant there, and all this stuff will all work. You know, you got to make sure that everything's going to work together. Like up here, the blackout curtains come down. They come down there. Yeah. So anyhow, Wild Bill out for now. Well, there it is with the doors on. I just got to put the hinges, and of course sand it and clear coat it, and got to put the oh, it's hard to do stuff with one-handed. Put the hinges on there, and then two on the other side, and it'll pull out and hinge down like that. Of course, right now there is no hinges, so yeah, so that's that. This is what it looks like through the side door. Of course, there's tools all over the place, but it's the cabinets there with the little table, and then right in that spot right there, I'm gonna put my solar batteries there. But I gotta, one thing at a time, I gotta get this taken apart and sanded and clear coated, and put it back in. And yeah, so it's coming along. Well, Bill, out for now. Well, I'm down in the bowels of Jeep Central, putting some clear coat on the cabinets. So that's what's going on so far. And there's the low VO, the low. It doesn't have it doesn't stink, this stuff. So yeah. So I've got the hinges on, and I've got it out of the vehicle, obviously, down here, and I'm putting clear coat on it. So that's the state of things right now. Wild Bill, out. Now we're going to install the cabinet into position. And here she goes. This is how we do it. There it is. And all I have to do is bolt it up inside. So that's that. Storage. Little table. So I'll be back in a minute when I get it all bolted up. And I got to put some latches in here. Be back in a minute. There it is, all installed with the latch. There's the latch. This one, it's the latch installed. She's screwed right to the body of the Defender. There it is. Cabinets are done and installed. Now, on the end, I'm going to make a box to house my solar batteries, but that's later on in this video, or a separate one. Probably include it with this one. Now I got to clean up some tools and whatnot. That turned out fairly decent. Got some nice storage. Right there. Anyway, Wild Bill out for now. And there's the solar battery box. Not done yet. I still have to sand it a little bit and put a brace in the back and clear coat it. But yeah, that's it. There it is from another angle. Yeah, perfect. I may actually add a cabinet on here or something above, not above it, because I'm going to put my batteries for my cameras and stuff up there to charge. But yeah, perfect. It's a perfect spot. The fridge is right here, so anyhow, that's what's going on. I'm gonna have to yell because now the mic's facing the other direction to get any sound out of it. But yeah, so when I get it all shellacked and final installation, I'll show you that and clean everything up. Wild Bill out. All right, so you might be wondering what that fan is doing there. I've just been doing some figuring on how I'm going to do the fan, because when you get into like northern Ontario, it can get quite warm, and having a fan, I might, instead of bolting this down, I may just bolt it to a 1/2 inch bigger piece of plywood and just have this to be mobile and just store it until I need it. But this is a great little fan. I mean, let me turn this on, turn the DC on, and there it is, and that's fast. And when it's hot and you're laying in here sweating, you don't, the noise, it's like white noise to me. And you know, it just puts me to sleep. And you can, you can move this anywhere, but since I'm going to be sleeping head this way, feet that way, this little fan's going to be great. But that's not why. I've got the fridge held down, and I need to hold my water down. And you see, you have to think about everything, because if you don't, you just start willy-nilly putting stuff down, you're going to find out you're in a bit of a conundrum. So I want this out like this, and out like away from here, so when I drop this I can go in behind. And this is similar here, this just worked out perfect that way. And yeah, and space here so this one can drop down and not be interfered with, and I can still get back in there to get this out of there. So I might actually just move that a little bit further so I can get my hand in there, and then mark the spot and drill these in here, and on the other side drill that and a strap over to hold it. And this is my running water container, because the kitchen area is kind of here. So yeah, you gotta be thinking of stuff all the time, and that's actually the wrong way. It should be spun this way. Yeah, like that. So, and you can put some, just throw stuff in there. Every time you put something in like this, and like under here for this, there's storage. There's storage under here. There's storage under there. Obviously storage here and there like we've done, but yeah, this is the battery box, and I'm just taking a bit of a break, because I can run how I did it in the Jeep with the battery box I had there. I ran a rod through. It never did move, like it never walked forward or anything, but you just never know. So I just take some rubber. Do I have them here? I've got them here somewhere. Take these. It's a hard rubber, and you wedge it up in there, and that holds it tight over the roughest road you can possibly imagine. It doesn't move, but still, I like to have a barrier there. So I run a metal rod through, and then pin it, and it stays. But I can't do that here because I can't run. So I gotta think of a way to run something across here that doesn't stick out here, or there for that matter, because the fridge is right there. But there's at least a little bit of room there for it, I'm just you're always engineering stuff, right? And you're trying to think ahead, especially if you've, you know, if you've experienced overland travel for the past few years like I have, and you sort of know how things work and how things go and how you want things set up. You know, up here is going to be my batteries for the cameras, for you know, the cameras basically, for charging. I'll put Velcro like I did in the Jeep, and here, you know, I'll be able to cook inside here if I need to, and slide this window open here because these won't be on, you know, like I can take them off, whatever. But when I'm, you know, driving around, obviously that's not going to be on the windows. But yeah, so I'm just, yeah, I'm going to preliminarily mount that. I'm going to be more exact about this, of what I'm going to need to stick my hand in there to get that, install it and take it out. This is no problem over on this side. But yeah, but that's yeah, that's pretty cool. This starting to come together. And like I said, when you start doing stuff, like for example, I'm gonna bolt this through here with 8mm button head stainless screws. The nuts will be on this side, but it'll pull this, and it's going to make a difference as to how this opens. So, you know, and that's why I can't run that rod through there, because it's so close. So there's that. And then as well, I want to run a bracket off this seat belt to come down and bolt and secure this here. There's a lot of room here, because this battery's 1000-watt battery is smaller than this 2040 watt, but they're great batteries. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to run off the seat belt a bracket, and so it'll be secured here and here, and it's supported here, 2 3/4 inch plywood. So this will be well secured down. As you can see, it moves a little bit now, but yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, just thinking out loud here, and I'm gonna take a little respite from this because I got to think about this down here. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I'll be back in a little bit when I get some things sorted out and mounted. Well, here it is, done. I put my little mounts in there, and it's bolted up under there on that side, and she's like rock solid. This is my running water, so I got that done. Plus I got this almost all done. She's bolted on the side, as you can see there. The nuts coming through, and it's a low profile button head on this side. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that's held there, and off my seat belt bolt right there, and I put the cap back on. Just took the seat belt off because it's the seat belt for the passengers, which is no longer. Yeah, she's held on there, and this is just a dry, I'm like putting it together, and that stops. I've got that, had that in the Jeep, stops this from walking forward. And I put some rubber, I cut rubber, really dense rubber, really close, and there's an interference fit, and it holds, and they never move. But I got to figure out something here, because I can't have anything sticking out here, because I won't be able to open that. Nylogs flying all over the place. So yeah, it's coming real good. I just got to take this all apart now, touch up, sand it, and clear coat it like I did this and everything else, and yeah, and we're good we're good to go on that, in that department. So Wild Bill from the Landy cave in the Jeep cave, there's the Jeep there. Yeah, getting her done. And of course there's the fan. And I'm just going to keep it, mobile because it doesn't move. It's really nice. It just sits there. It's got a rubber foot on it, so it just sits. And yeah, if it gets warm, because it moves a lot of air, it's very, very nice fan. I like this fan, 12-volt fan. So yeah, anyhow, Wild Bill, I'll be back after it's all done, and I'll clean all the inside and everything and just do a scan of it, all purdy and everything, all clear coated and ready to rock and roll. Out for now. So here we are. I've just taken this off from the dry fit and back up in the Landy. Down here doing some clear coat. It's drying. And tomorrow we will install it with using the final hardware, which is the nylocks rather than just regular nuts. For the dry fit I just use regular nuts, but this is yeah, this is it. Like I said, in the morning, sometime tomorrow, I'll be installing this. And yeah, we can switch this around like that and just lean it against here. So yeah, so I'll see you in the morning when I will do the last and final install on this. Wild Bill out for now. Well, it's the next morning and the battery cabinet is dry, so we're going to offer it up again to the Land Rover. So off we go. Be back when we have her up there. So here we go, putting her up into place, getting her up in here. We're gonna work its way over. We have the batteries up here. Gonna put it back into place. I'll be back once I have it in, all installed, how it's going to be on the trip. Wild Bill, back in a second. Well, there it is. So everything's cleaned up. And there's the water tank and everything like we've talked about. And there is the battery cabinet. Right there. I'll take a shot of it from another angle. Of course, the fan's up there. I've just got that sitting there. But yeah, the interior is pretty much done. Yeah, it's pretty much done. Yeah, I'll go around the other side there. I'll be back in a sec. There it is, the battery cabinet. And I fixed the problem of not having that rod come out past there, because then I wouldn't be able to open that drawer by not drilling that through, almost through, but not quite. And then having that flush mounted on there. And then drilling it on the inside and putting the pin on the inside, so I could just withdraw it that way. And this one here, it's a bit long, but it doesn't matter. I can just push that over and open the fridge because there's room here. There's play. So yeah, and I got my roof rack is in, so I'm going to be picking that up probably this week. So yep, awesome. Just have some stuff in here now, but yeah, turned out nice. Everything went together nice, you know, nice as far as I'm concerned anyway. So anyhow, Wild Bill out for now. And if you like that, continue watching, because I got more stuff coming. There's the old shovel holder. Did some mods on that. I didn't film that. Probably should have, but oh well. Anyhow, out for now.